Hello everyone, welcome back to the last episode of the Unheard Stories. I'm Daphne.
I'm Sophie.
And I'm Jenny. Today we'll be doing this episode a little differently. We'll have a girl conversation around high tea. And today we also have a fellow HWB colleague with us today, Yvonne.
Hi everyone, I'm Yvonne.
So for today's episode, we're going to dive right into some of the raw stories in women's health. So she has her own fair share of challenges in this area and maybe some of you can relate to.
Yeah. So as with all episodes, we have prepared a set of questions that we will be going through to bring us through this story and guide us a little bit too. So for the first question, Yvonne and maybe Jenny too, you would have some experiences to share. Can you walk us through the emotional journey that you went through during that season of your life?
It was still a bit raw for me to say it now because I just thought of what happened to me 12 years ago. I was already married for 6 years, and then I thought, hey, maybe it's time, right, for us, right, to start a family with my husband, right? And it was pretty a smooth journey. And maybe the time that we thought about to start a family, having a kid together, 2-3 months later, I was pregnant. So obviously, super happy, super excited. Then things also changed very quickly. It happened at the gynae's office. The news was broke to me in the most coldest clinical way. Yvonne, I'm sorry to say your child doesn't have a heartbeat. And then I was just given an MC and I left the room not knowing what to do. That moment was really hard for me. And how then I linked it back to workplace because strangely, what happened next was I didn't know where to go. Yes, I called my husband and told him. He was also coping it really quietly, but I know that's his way of coping. And so I didn't know what to do. He asked if I need him to be around. I said, I think it's okay. It's almost at the end of the day. So I went back home. So that night, I just talked to my sis. It was a very emotional moment for me. But what was very surprising was the next day, I was given MC, like the whole week. It happened like on the beginning of the week. The whole week I was given MC. And I just thought, what actually happened to me? I'm not having flu. I'm not having headache. I'm not having body pain. Then you give me MC for what? I was still quite realistic in the sense, I'm pretty okay. So in the morning, I told my husband, I'm going to work. I went in really early. And the first person who came in was my boss. And I just needed to want to talk to somebody. So I told him, and you know what kind of person he is. He's someone, right, no nonsense, not the warm, fuzzy kind. He will even pinpoint, right, a punctuation mark in your slides, that sort. So I knocked on his door and I said that I needed a talk. And he said, okay, sit. And I just relate to him what happened. He just looked at me, no judgment, no nothing. He asked me as a matter of fact that, so what do you need now? I just need you to know. And I'm okay for you to tell people around me if I'm behaving oddly, because I will be feeling very sad for the next few days because I don't know what to do. And then I said, I want to be left alone at my desk, but I will still do my work because I just want something, right, to cope with what I'm doing. And say, okay, just do what you need to, and I'm out there. Through that experience, I realized that yes, this is what as a woman I go through. Really happy, wonderful news of being getting pregnant, and also things happen really fast.
Thank you for sharing. I think like every pregnancy is very unique and there's many other women's stories out there as well, right? And I just wanted to highlight there is also the contrast where my first pregnancy was very smooth, right? No issues. And my second pregnancy comes along and then it was like you go into the clinic by yourself. They break the news that they said, oh, do you want to do an amniocentesis, which is like to test whether your child had Down syndrome. Going back to the work where you found support with your colleagues, I chose a very different route. I tried to act as normal as possible. I didn't tell people about my pregnancy. But I'm struggling through the decision of whether do I terminate the pregnancy, whether I go ahead with the procedure, and what happens if I find out the result is still positive, right? Do I proceed with the kind of shame associated with, oh, you're not strong enough despite your child being born with some issues that I cannot have the courage to continue with the pregnancy kind of thing. And so there was a lot of shame around getting support, have a strong front at work, and act as normal as possible.
I think these are the things that I don't get, or rather women don't discuss this in workplace. And if this is not being discussed, if you have a boss, it is a guy, and you're not sure how to approach, things like this can really get tricky. For me, I do want that kind of empathy, but I don't want a drama. Yeah. Of course, in my case, I did take the first approach of telling others how I feel. But I'm also quite clear in telling them that I don't need people to crowd around me. Quiet spaces also offer a very important source of strong support. And let me just process it and watch over me that I don't do anything silly.
I'm so glad you had such colleagues to support you.
What was really helpful to you at that point in time when it came to support needed? What was helpful?
So I mentioned about how they just let me be. They don't crowd around me.
And Jenny, you mentioned that for you it was a little bit different, right?
Yeah.
What did you need at that point in time, like during your pregnancy?
I think for me, it was actually having people to notice that my normal wasn't normal and to actually take charge. Hey, Jenny, maybe I blocked out your day. Maybe you just go home and rest, that kind of thing. Because obviously I was going to be as normal as possible because I didn't want to show any vulnerability or weakness that I couldn't handle this motherhood situation.
How about for you, Yvonne? Could you resonate with that? Like what Jenny said, she wanted for things to be not as normal as possible. Was that a priority for you?
I don't need grand gestures. And I also don't need micromanaging, not about work, but just watch over this person specifically, maybe be very intuitive on what to say. And you can sense it, right? Whether someone around you is tiptoeing around you, walking on the eggshells. But what I didn't feel that it was too much of fussing around me, right, was that kind of space, really just keeping you at a safe distance. But at the same time, just watch over you, ask you, hey, everything is normal. Let's go for lunch. Okay. You'll be on MC on a Friday, and they know what's my MC for. So they are not acting or behaving specifically or in a certain way. And so looking back, that was what I really appreciate.
It sounds like there were a lot of maybe intense emotions going on inside, or maybe some sort of confusion. That space is so necessary.
In any situation, probably it'd be best that I just stay at home and just sort things out. But I didn't choose to do that because I will be all alone at home. I'm just staying with my husband, he's at work. I'm just at home. But choosing to go to a workplace was really, I just like that kind of structure, that kind of rhythm. I'm still working. And I must say, it's not as if that I don't care and I'm fine. I'm not. I'm entirely not. I'm still crying on my desk. I'm still bothering myself with what's going on. But I just needed people around. I just needed normalcy. So like what you say, although it is happening, something very big is happening around me, inside me. But I still want the normalcy and I still want the pace of life as if, the world is still operating around me. But I'm still safe in that small bubble there, still processing. I just needed that clarity, I suppose.
I feel like maybe that's also our way of having control over a situation, right? That's uncontrollable, right? Do you think so?
I think so. Still having, I like what you say, still having that kind of control in really a regular workplace.
Yeah, I think the word you used was routine. Like going back to normalcy, going back to
routine, the rhythm, the structure, and strangely work gave me that.
Do you think that was like a distraction you needed at that point in time?
I'm coping it in that manner. Yeah.
So distraction sometimes can be healthy as well, right? It's not necessarily all unhealthy. Sometimes we all just need when we're facing like intense emotions, like maybe some sort of distraction can help us to cope a little bit better.
So, like, having said all that, right, I also wonder, for you and Jenny, maybe you're different in experience. Like, did you ever feel pressured to return, like, to full normalcy at work, even before, like, you were truly ready? Because I believe that season of your life took quite a while to grieve over the loss, etc.
the whole pregnancy process was quite anxiety driven, right? And I think having to be at work where I'm, juggling with should I terminate or not and things like that, and still having to be at work and act as normal as possible. I definitely think that I have, and I'm sure a lot of people have gone back to work, not even with pregnancy, for example, but even like on sick leave, like you feel like 1 or 2 days your max sick leave that you can take without feeling like people are judging you, you're lazy. You have to prove yourself that you're actually sick or you're unfit for work.
But I guess for me, if I need to rest at that time, I will take my rest. But at the same time, hearing that about being judged, that was also very real. Again, I must say that this is my previous workplace. I know them so well, and I'm so open with them, telling them that this is what's happening to me. So I guess that kind of pressure wasn't so hard for me to be asking for just a moment at my desk. If I'm behaving oddly, know that this is what's happening. And even if there's someone, and I must also say this is quite comical when I think back. After the whole episode, and that was about easily 2 years after my miscarriage, someone actually told me that there's this IT guy, IT guy who came over and then just wanted to check how was I doing? How come I was like crying at my desk? And someone was saying that, go away, leave her alone. And I can imagine the whole episode behind me, like hustling him to go away. But then he was like, what happened to her? And I could imagine that guy would be what's happening with her, with her at the workplace. So I must also say that to be able to have a watchful colleague who know how to protect you from a distance, and then someone who wants to console you, even all this kind of thing can be quite, how to say, am I doing it correctly? Am I doing it wrongly? But I want to say there's no right or wrong. I can only say that I feel so safe with my colleague. Whatever they are doing, I'm okay. I'm also very open to go out there and share that this is what's happening to me. Shame and guilt, I guess that's part of it, as in, why is this happening to me? Did I do something wrong? And that's why I wasn't able to protect my baby.
So kind of like your openness in sharing in the workplace about your situation kind of like didn't make you feel as pressured.
Yes.
And supportive colleague too, right? Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah. Actually, I think this question can kind of apply to both of us, right? Like when I think about, well, both of us do not have a kid, but we are thinking about like what Jenny said earlier on, like if you take MCs and all, do you feel pressured? Definitely when you take MCs and you feel that like you come back to work and you are still maybe like, I don't know, like 70%.
Sometimes like on days when I have like a full schedule, like full calendar, and it's just so hard to reschedule everything, I will just show up for work. Yeah, I'll just wait for a day that is like freer for me to rest. Yeah, and I know like it's not really in the best interest of my health. I don't really enjoy that. Yeah, but sometimes it's really like, okay, you just want to get things done, get it off your mind. Yeah, so it's so hard to even switch off when I'm sick. Yeah. Do you feel that as well?
Do I feel pressured to come back to work? Honestly, I think just very mild pressured. Because it is important to still be professional about work, and work never ends. And there's still things like what you said to keep up on and things like that. But I think I'm someone who is also quite clear of my boundaries, and I know that I need to first take care of myself before I can care for others. So with that, I will always make sure that it's a healthy level of pressure, I believe.
Yeah. I think we all should be a little bit more mindful about our own health. That if we don't take care of ourselves, no one else is going to take care of us.
Yeah. The fact that we are from health and well-being.
Yeah, but I always think that like it's easy to say, but it's way harder to do. A question just came into my mind, like, is there anything that within the workplace, within our environment, our peers can actually help to support that? So for instance, like Yvonne's case, right? She mentioned that in her previous work environment, like your peers were in some ways very supportive. So when I think about like, if I want to fully be able to just rest, is there anything that within my colleagues, within my team, is able to do to support that?
I think for different people, maybe the needs are very different. Like, for example, my needs would be, I need people to give me the assurance, yeah, go ahead, take that take that leap. Where some people may be like very open to saying, hey guys, I need to take a break. Very open about it. But for me, I need that kind of
I can
self-assurance.
resonate with that. Yeah, I want to give a shout out to Michelle.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's super supportive. You know, like whenever we are sick, she would just be like, okay, please go and rest and don't touch work.
Yeah, for context, Michelle is our lead. Yeah, of PMT. So for you, you mentioned that you need people to ask.
That like assurance that it's okay to go on that break. You just that work can wait. Tell me that the work can wait.
I will keep in mind of that. Yeah. What about you?
I'm quite different when I was pregnant. Okay, so let the audience know after my miscarriage. So my second gynae set me up for my second pregnancy. He timed my cycles and all, and I was very successful in my second pregnancy, and now I have an 8-year-old son. And during my pregnancy period, when I really need that chair on the MRT seat, I'll go to whoever who's sitting there and say that I'm pregnant. Can I have the seat? So I'm like that, Jenny. So I would ask for it. I wouldn't say, I wouldn't wait for you, and then I'll be there, be so disgruntled. Why this person never give me a seat? I'm not that kind.
Be like, can I get the badge to say I'm pregnant?
I'm pregnant. Even though mine is quite a small bump, but I would say, I'm pregnant, can I have this seat? And they go, oh, okay. And in fact, about 3 persons stood up. I can even lie down on that seat.
Has anyone ever rejected you?
No, they wouldn't. They just feel like, oh, okay. Yeah. So sometimes, don't wait for other people to give you the permission.
Yeah. And I think that's a lesson that I have to keep.
It's a good reminder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yvonne, just now you mentioned about the NUS IT guy.
Not US IT guy lah.
The IT guy, yes. The previous one.
But he is such a bear. Yeah. Okay.
So I'm curious, like how would you prefer him to respond? Because people wouldn't know, right?
So everyone just imagine, my colleagues are around me. We are sitting quite open space, and I was crying. I was just looking at my screen, and I'm not doing this. I'm just crying and looking at my screen. So it's quite obvious that there are tears rolling down. And yeah, the guy is such a bear, such a nice guy. He's a happy guy going around, spreading joys and all. So you can imagine him going past and then backtracking again, looking, I suppose, at me. But around me, people are just shooing him away. So let's say if my Watchful colleagues are not around, he came to me and said, hey, what happened to you? Right? He is like that. He's really like, hey, what happened to you? Why are you crying here? Why are you not going out? So I guess at that time, my response will be, and since I'm really quite open about what I'm going through, and I'm saying it to even my colleagues that I'm okay to let them know what's happening to me. I suppose I would tell him that I just went to the gynae. My gynae told me that about my miscarriage. I don't know what to do. As I'm saying this, I will be thinking, how would he respond?
How would you like him to respond?
Because I know him, he's that kind of guy like, huh? Then why are you still doing here? Then I will just look at him that I'm still doing here because I want to be here. As tiny as that. Because at that time, I'm not overthinking things. I'm just speaking as what I'm going through. So it was a moment that I felt that I'm really digging it deep there, that this is what my heart is telling me. I'm not overthinking so much that how would I want him to respond? I don't have that kind of expectation. It is just me telling him what I'm feeling, what I'm going through. So as I'm saying this, I also find that, wow, that is a really very vulnerable moment that I went through. And I really didn't expect anything from people around me. Thank you for asking me that question. I will text him and say that you're on my mind.
So let's consider different personas. How about a manager? How would you like a manager to approach you?
Manager. Okay, so I did talk about telling my head of department, and I'm saying that he's a no warm fuzzy guy, who understands so much about such feeling. What I know is I don't need him to tell me exactly what to do at that point in time. For example, talk to someone or just give me a prep talk, console me. Or I don't know, I don't need that kind of fuss around. I've never experienced people fussing around me so much. But if that happens, like giving me a lot of information overload, I think I would just say, I'm sorry, I don't need this kind of talk at the moment. What I need is just watch after me. I'm going to be sitting where I am. If I'm behaving oddly, come to me and ask me. But otherwise, I'll be perfectly happy if you just allow me to sit there and leave me alone. Or maybe I'm quietly telling him that please don't give me any more work during this point in time. Yeah.
Maybe for other people, like me, for example, wouldn't know exactly what I need because I wasn't aware of the options available. And I would probably need quite a lot more assurance, like, hey, you need a rest, go take a rest. Maybe go home early. Or if, let's say, for example, I know you're stressed about this work, but it can wait, it's not due until whatever, or it's okay that we don't hit this target at this timing. Having that reassurance that I'm not going to fail my project if it doesn't meet the deadline by next week. For me, I don't know where that allowance goes up to.
I can imagine for it to be quite a difficult conversation to have, and even the inertia of approaching that subordinate as well to find out what's wrong. So I'm just thinking along the lines, like, is there anything that we would give advice to if a male manager kind of persona encounters such a situation?
I feel quite even though they can be asking me the most clumsy manner, but the fact that they can muster up the courage to come to me, I feel appreciated already. That was really a sort of subtle, gentle appreciation for me.
I think for me, it doesn't have to be words. Yeah. So, maybe you feel lost, you don't know what to say. It's okay to say nothing as well. Yeah, maybe just a presence, just staying with me, just bring me good food, good drinks.
Good for a team lead with a male to like, here Daphne, like,
It's fine, right? Like just grab something from the pantry and just offer
Okay.
a drink.
okay. And that can kind of like start the conversation, right? Like,
Okay.
yeah, are you okay? Yeah, here's a drink for you. Yeah.
I think more importantly is the sincere and genuine heart, right? Like when you have that intention to want to support the other person, it will come naturally as well. People can sense it. Yeah.
Okay, so let's round up this entire episode with one key takeaway from everyone. Yvonne?
My one key takeaway is learning how to cope. In my way of learning, it's not about anything that is grand or drama. I don't need people to crowd around me. I also don't need pep talks, actually. Yeah, I just need the quiet space, the gentle support, and good humans to be around me, not to fix me.
I learned that we are all very different and we all have different needs. And I think one valuable lesson that Yvonne shared is just to have courage to speak up sometimes. Not everyone knows that you need support, but also that everyone is different and that we should be a bit more, I suppose, just be that genuine person to your listening ear or just be present. I think that's very important.
One takeaway for me is building self-awareness. Yeah, so I think that's the first step. Like knowing how you like to be soothed and comforted opens up the door for the other person to be able to have the opportunity to give it to you.
Early on, we also talk a little bit about, you as a coach. Maybe share with us a little bit, like, what are the kind of issues that your clients come to you?
Yeah, I think workplace stress is one of the common challenges that we see clients come in for coaching for. Yeah, so if you experience stress in this area of your life, coaching can be an avenue that can support you.
This marks the end of our episode. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. And if you'd like to check out more interesting content, please check out our socials. Bye!